Hi, this is Amy. Welcome to the Comfort and Joy 2023 event. I am here today to share with you this sweet Christmas pin for you to put on your lapel and spread Christmas cheer this season. This reminds me of those sweet little pins that we used to have, like a Rudolph that you pull the string and his nose lights up. I just think it's a fun way to spread Christmas cheer, but a little bit less showy than maybe an ugly Christmas sweater. A little bit cuter, I think. Anyway, let's get started. So this pin uses a chipboard shape that's cut from Eileen's dies. Now, you have a few options. If you look on the dies, you'll see often this is the journal die, and you have this shape available. This is the tiny book die. I had a little shape cut out to show you, but this little oval is on the tiny book. I'm going to use this die, which is an older die. This is the labels and buttons die. And I'm going to cut out this shape. I've got here a piece of chipboard covered on both sides with Christmas paper. This is a great use for scrap chipboard, scrap mat board, and scrap paper. So I'm going to cut this out and I'll be right back. I have a lot of these pen backs from a long time ago, and I just want to make sure I'm putting it on so that the opening for the pen is towards the bottom of the pen. I'm going to lock that. So that's this way. And then I don't trust this adhesive at all, so I'm going to peel that off, but then I'm going to add glue to it. And I'm going to place that there. Let's make sure we have good contact. And let's set that aside while we make our little snowman. Now you could use any kind of miniature ornament or any little something that you might have in your stash, or you can go shopping for cute little things. Miniature ornaments would be perfect, but I'm going to show you how I made this spun cotton snowman. I'm going to leave a link below for where you can get these spun cotton shapes, these kind of shaped like a fat bowling pin. The first thing I'm going to do is to put his nose in, and I'm going to use my pokey tool. I think I want him to look up a little bit, so I'm going to put his nose right there. I have these vintage orange stamen that I'm going to use that make the perfect little tiny carrot nose. If you don't have anything like this, you can use a bead. I'm just going to take a bit of glue and put it in that hole that we need. And I'm going to stick this little carrot right in that hole. And I want it to sort of stick into the air a little bit, sort of up. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is make his eyes and mouth and buttons. I'm going to use this gel pen to make his eyes. Put them there and there. And then I'm going to give him a little mouth like that, and I'm going to give him buttons. I'm going to use this marker to give him cheeks. Rosy cheeks. Okay, I guess that's okay. I'm going to tie some twine around his neck for a scarf. Now I don't want that scarf to sort of fly in the air, so I'm just going to tack it down with a little tiny dot of glue. The great thing about the spun cotton is that it really takes the glue nicely. It doesn't take much. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is give him some arms. I have these spun cotton balls. These are 6mm. I had them for a different project, but I think they work great as arms. And these happen to have a hole just on one side. So what I'm going to do is use my pokey tool to sort of make an indentation where his arms are going to go. I'm going to try and make them kind of even. But if they're not even, that adds to his quirkiness. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue in those holes. And again, this spun cotton is easy. It makes things easy to adhere. It grabs pretty easily. So I'm going to push that in. And then the other, I'm trying to make that hole go towards the body. Okay, we're getting there. Isn't he cute? The next thing that we're going to do is make his hat. Now I did have in my stash tiny little top hats that I used for some of the snowmen that I made, but I've run out. So what I'm going to do is make a little velvet pointy hat like this one. And how I did that is I used this hole punch and I used this vintage velvet ribbon, and you can see that I punched a hole. I just punched that circle out like that. Okay. And then you just use your scissors to cut that in half. And it makes the perfect size hat. That was a 1-inch circle punch. And then what we're going to do is just put a little bit of glue along the side here. And then what I find is very helpful to use for making the hat is these hemostats. So this will hold it really tight. So what I do is put those in my hand so that they're ready. And then I twirl that around, kind of like that. Let that glue catch there. And then I take these, it's a little fiddly. I take these hemostats and just lay it over that glue. Well, just let's do this again. Turn that around like that, and then take that and clamp it into place, and then we can set that aside while we work on our pen. The next thing that we're going to do is make a little bit of a nest of tinsel for our snowman to nestle into. I'm going to take about 4 to 6 inches of tinsel. This sheds like crazy. And I'm actually going to use switch glues to Beacon 3-in-1. If you like using hot glue, you should switch to hot glue. I am not a fan of hot glue, so I'm just going to use this Beacon 3-in-1. And what I'm going to do is just start there and kind of wind around and then put the end right there in the middle. So it's a sweet little tinsel nest. The next thing I'm going to do is tuck in this holly leaf and this berry, and I'm just going to tuck that into the glue, but first I'm going to trim that wire. I'm going to bend back that wire so it doesn't poke through, and I'm just going to put that into the glue. I think we can put that hat on our snowman now, so I'm going to let it go out of that clamp, and then I'm just going to run some glue along the edge, just little dots. Just like that. And then put in that right there. Just hold that for a second. Now I'm going to glue him onto that nest of tinsel. I'm going to use this 3-in-1 again. I think I need a new bottle. All right. And then he will go right into that. And let's give him, oh, his hat's coming off. Let's give that some good contact. Okay. Now I think he needs something to hold, so let's make him a tree. You can easily make a tree out of this. This is tinsel, kind of like a pipe cleaner. I think you can get this at Dollar Tree. So I'm going to cut it a length. Now I suppose you could put that in his hand, but to me it doesn't look too much like a tree. So what I'm going to do is give it a little haircut, and I'm just going to angle my scissors to the top like that. Just sort of make a tree shape. This would also be really cute with a star on top. Okay, that made a mess. Okay, let's glue that into his hand. Okay, just gonna nestle that right into his hand. That's looking pretty cute. Now, I think I want to add a little bit of a greeting down here. Sometimes I put them on the top, but this time I've got a bit of room down there. And I have these little pieces of ephemera. This one says Christmas greetings, warm wishes. This one says holiday hugs and all is bright. I think I like this Christmas greeting, so I'm going to glue that right there. Now this banner is just made of paper, so to give it a little bit of strength so that it's not doesn't get banged up wearing it, I'm going to add some, this is a triple thick, which I really like to use, and it really makes things glossy and sort of almost like enamel, so it's kind of a fun thing to use. So I'm just going to paint that on that greeting. And I'm going to paint it on the back too. Not the back of the pen, although you could, but the back of that paper. Okay, and then let that dry. And that's how you make these adorable Christmas pins. Now I've gone a little crazy and made a bunch of these. I'm selling them at a craft fair that my church is having. I think it'll be a fun thing. So I wanted to show you how I've packaged them. I got these boxes from Amazon. They're kind of like little bakery boxes. I put a little bit of paper shred behind them, push them up a little bit, and then I wanted to show you how cute they turned out. So look how many I've made. Isn't that fun? All right, so Merry Christmas, and I hope you have as much fun as I did making these. If you make them, share them on the group. Hey, if you like this project and want to see more like it, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Take care.